I'm so happy you are going to learn to tie shoes today. Okay, I have my shoelaces here to show you as an example. So when we have them apart, untied, the first thing we're going to do is put them, I like to put my left one across the right one, and that's going to make an X. Now the shoelace that's on top is going to drop down and twist around this one and come back through that big giant hole to me. Then I'm going to pull them apart from each other and it makes a little tie. Okay, next I'm going to make a little loop with this right side, and my left side is going to come around the back, around over the front. Now my thumb is going to push, because I have this little hole there. Can you guys see that? I'm going to push with my thumb through that hole. Now this hand can grab that little loop, and this hand can grab this loop, and when I pull apart, I have a great shoe tie. Now if I want to double tie that, double knot it, I can take these two and we're going to do kind of the same thing. Make an X, and this top one, the one that's on top, is going to push around and pop through that little hole. Now I can take both ends and pull, and I get a really, really secure shoe tie. Okay, now if I want to take that out, I just wiggle that where they're together, kind of pull one off of the other and pull that across, and I can untie my shoes easy. Okay, now let's do another method. If I cross them again, we'll start this way and do that same thing. Pop it through that hole and pull. That's my starting point. Now, here's another way we can do it. We call these the bunny ears. I'm going to make 2 bunny ears with each of my laces, and it's the same thing kind of that I just showed you with the double knot. We're going to cross them like an X. The one that's on top is going to push back around and pop through to you. I'm going to pick that one up and hold both of my ends, pull them good, and we've got a really good knot. So either way you do those, it's going to work, and it just takes a whole bunch of practice. I'm not gonna lie. It takes a whole bunch of practice. But the good thing about this is that you can rewind, play, pause, rewind, play, pause, and you can just practice until you get it. And then even when you get it, it's gonna be slow, but that's okay. Don't give up. Keep going, and you'll get it faster and faster and faster. All right, now this is another thing I'm going to show you guys. When we just did these in my classroom, and it's just a skill that's really good to have, to be able to tie string. Okay, so I'm going to show you on this. So maybe kind of like a card, a tag, a bookmark. It can be anything. If you are adding a string to a paper, this is really good to practice. So same thing, I'm going to cross my strings like an X, and the one that's on top is going to push around and pop through to me, and I can just pull, and then I have a tie. Now to make sure it doesn't go anywhere, I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to pop it through, and then it's really, really secure, and it is not going anywhere. Okay, so the same kind of knot that we did on our shoes can be useful for something like this. And let me show you one more way. If you wanted to have your string so that you can hang it so that it's tied at this top near the ends, we're going to keep those ends together, and I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to wrap it around my finger and cross it, kind of like I did before, and it's making that X. Now I've got to wiggle it off of my finger, and keeping that loop, that circle open, I'm going to push my ends back. This is kind of the tricky part because you've got to keep them together. So I'm going to push them back, and they're going to pop through that hole to me. Now I'm going to grab those ends good together. Now I'm going to keep my little hole open and wiggle it with my other hand up to the hand that's holding those ends. And when I'm happy with where it is, I can pull tight, and then I have a knot at the ends so that I can hang if I want to. Okay? So these are skills that you just are going to practice, 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 practice. And the more you practice, the better and faster you get. Okay? You can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And I want to see all of my kiddos at school being able to tie their shoes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Practice, 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 and you can do it.